again with the Jamaica Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. And they've been on board with us and have been providing a wealth of information every week. And I hope you all have been listening. I hope you've been following the tips that we've been giving you. I hope you've been learning. I have been learning a lot. I had to take my puppy to the JSPCA. I think twice now. It's two trips now, Doc, and I think we have to take her back this Saturday. And yeah, so my poor dog, I'm having a new appreciation for my nice little puppy. But anyways, we're so happy to have Dr. Hemmings with us. Dr. Hemmings is a graduate of the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine School of Veterinary Medicine. There, say it in one breath. Right, the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine School of Veterinary Medicine. She has over 4 years of experience in exotic animal care and rehabilitation, as well as small animal medicine. She's currently an associate veterinarian at the JSPCA. And the Jamaica Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals is known for a myriad of things, which includes veterinary clinic services, pet adoption program. They include animal shelter, animal rescue, cruelty investigation, surgeries. The JSPCA's mission is to promote animal rights, and they investigate cases related to animal cruelties. Well, I bet you couldn't tell me what we're talking about today. And when we asked, we found out that there are Jamaicans who actually do have these little creatures as pets. We're talking about turtles. Who would have thought, huh? Well, we're going to learn about turtles, and maybe we might just encourage you to adopt a turtle. So maybe not as common here. We're going to be talking with Dr. Hemmings. Good morning, Dr. Hemmings.
Good morning.
Boy, I can hear the busyness in the background, and I just lived it because I was just there. Oh my goodness. It was beautiful to watch how the doctors were just so caring with the animals. Also how the animal owners were so passionate about their pets. It's an amazing feeling. So this morning, Dr. Hemmings, we're going to talk about turtles. Now, it's true enough Jamaicans have turtle for pet?
It is. I do have quite a bit of reptile parents.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely beautiful. All right, so for someone who maybe never thought of it and is now going to think of it, how should they prepare for getting a turtle as a pet?
Okay, so preparing for a turtle, you have to know that it's a long-term commitment, because turtles live for a very long time, and in some cases they even outlive their owners. So you have to decide that you want to get a turtle, and then decide on how you're going to house a turtle. So you have to decide on whether you want the turtle to be indoors, or you don't want to have the turtle outdoors.
Yeah.
Important.
So where outdoors would you have a turtle?
I have clients who have actual ponds.
Okay. And those are the clients. Okay.
Of makeshift ponds.
Yeah.
And you also want to determine what sex you have. If you want to have a male or a female turtle.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because female turtles tend to have a bit. I tend to find that they come in with a bit more issues in terms of reproductive issues.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to know if you're gonna invest in a female turtle, because she can produce eggs and you might end up with baby turtles.
Oh, okay.
Especially if she's mated before.
Right. Okay, so you have to plan. And then how many baby turtles do they have at one go? Can they have at one go?
Right, so it depends on the species. The species that's mostly in the pet shops these days are the red-eared flybugs.
The red who?
red-eared sliders.
The red-eared sliders. Okay.
So they have red markings on the side of the face, so that really distinguishes them from other breeds, for example, or endemic turtles, because we do have endemic turtles. The Jamaican slider, it tends to be a bit darker than the red-eared sliders.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier, so that's a different species. Do you care for the different types of turtles in different ways, or it doesn't really matter? A turtle is a turtle is a turtle.
Different turtles have different requirements. For example, turtles that usually live in North America, they have different specifications as it relates to the type of how humidity to give, as well as how much humidity to give, as well as the temperatures.
Okay.
So different turtles thrive in different with different conditions. But the red-eared slider is quite, it adjusts very well. So that's why it's to have a red-eared slider in Jamaica, it's gonna thrive very well because it's very adaptive.
Okay. All right. So now those who are thinking of going the turtle way for pets, do you find a lot of children may have turtles for pets? Is that a good kid pet?
No, I wouldn't say a good kid pet. Maybe a teenager pet. Maybe a turtle would be a good idea for a teenager. The reason I say this is because reptiles on a whole, they generally have salmonella. Salmonella. So if it is that you're taking up a turtle, you have to remember to wash your hands because you can get sick.
Oh, wow. Okay, lots of things. So it's a lot of responsibility. Right. Okay, so what do they eat? Are they easy to feed? They're mouth small though.
Right, baby.
Okay, we may be having a connection issue. So I'm gonna just take a quick break and come right back to you, because I want our audience to be able to, I see Ophelia and them, so I want them to be able to hear what you're saying properly. So folks, our team members on Love 101, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Get ready for another World of Worship Wednesday Inside Alive, August 18th. Stick around for prayer blast at 2 o'clock. At 2:15, we feature worshiper Brianna Bree Babino as a worship artist of the day. At 3 p.m. inside the I Love Summer campaign feature community conversations. We hear from the residents of the parish of St. Anne. All this and more will come your way on the family station, Love 101.
Sometimes all we need is a listening ear. The listening ear, the counseling, the logical reasoning, and the spiritual guidance may just be what appeal to us. That's why I'm here. I'm Dr. Joan Pinkney, the counselor, your counselor, on Love 101 FM, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 to 11 p.m. You know you can call on me. I will listen and more. So let's talk about what's bothering you. Anything at all. For the month of August, our focus on the counselor will be managing inferiority complex. Yes, it's a fancy term for low self-esteem. Tune in then. Listen, call in, text or voice message, and let's help you start the journey to overcoming your issues. I'm Dr. Joan Pinkney, counseling psychologist, ready with a listening ear on the counselor right here on the family station, Love 101 FM.
And when no one, oh yes you will. Clap your hands, everybody, come on. Love 101 invites you to listen to the First Vision Apostolics Youth Week on Monday, August 16 through to Friday, August 20. It will be a week filled with worship and praise, with hosts Pastor Dr. Patricia Holness and Elder Ralph Tomlinson. The theme, Jesus Promised Abundance, It's Time to Collect. Speakers include Bishop John Smith, Evangelist Matthew Longmore, Elder Fabian Banton, Evangelist Andrew Phillips, Minister Andrew Buckle, and others. That's the First Vision Apostolics Youth Week, Monday, August 16 through to Friday, August 20 at 8 p.m. on Love 101's Facebook page and on Family Radio, Love 101 FM.
Faithful, faithful, faithful is our God.
Gosh, guess what? We're at the next stop of the Island of Salvador, Saint Anne.
Are we together? As somebody I listen to always say, are we together? Okay, Dr. Hemmings, are we there?
Hello. Yes, I'm here.
Awesome. Yes, awesome. All right. I think we're talking about what turtles eat.
Okay. So you have the adult turtles. The adult turtles. We're talking about red-eared sliders, right?
Oh, so the other ones eat different?
Hello.
Go ahead, Doc. Dr. Hemmings?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
All right, so we're back with Dr. Hemmings. I'm so sorry for the interruptions. We're having some technical issues. I don't think Grace is the reason. But Dr. Hemmings, are you there?
I am here.
Okay. All right, so we're talking about the way they feed, and you were saying that the red one.
The red. I mean, turtles in general, and they are omnivores, meaning that they eat plants and meat. Right. So they're gonna have a vegetable diet. So the vegetables would include like dark leafy greens, fruits and banana, romaine, let's say sweet pepper. So you can mix the amount of greens that you use. I would avoid plants that are what we call rich in oxalates. So you'd want to feed a smaller amount. So plants that are rich in oxalates would include like kale and spinach and broccoli. So you'd want to feed smaller amounts of those. In terms of protein, we can actually use what we commonly call tiki. So I have a few clients that have, they introduce tiki into their pond. Right. You can get small goldfish if you can. This really depends on the turtle size as well. Right? We can actually use fish pellet as a protein source as well. Protein is something that you can actually use as protein as well. Right? And then for the juveniles, the baby turtles, they tend to eat more meat. So they're more carnivorous. And as they grow, they're going to eat more plant matter. Right. So you can actually give your baby turtles.
But they're cheap to feed then, man. In Dr. Hemmings, they're not so expensive. In fact, but turtles can be picky. So you have to, turtles, I find that they get bored if you don't switch up the diet from time to time. So right. So you have to keep it interesting then. I tell you. And so nice time as well are really good. Yes. Okay. So let's talk about vaccination. I mean, that's in the air. But I remember when I took my puppy to the JSPCA, the first thing they asked, has the puppy received its vaccinations? I just start look up in the sky. I was just like, da da dee, da da da. And of course, she ended up getting a couple injections that day. Do turtles need to be vaccinated or given supplements? No, they don't need to be vaccinated. Okay. What I do recommend is that tough. Right, Tracy? So no vaccination, but I do recommend that you can give a bit of calcium powder dusted over the food. You can do that once a week. I find that cuttlefish bone is okay. You can actually get the cuttlefish bone. You can get that at the regular pet shop. You can actually sprinkle the calcium powder over the food once a week. Okay, and that's good, and we're good to go. Right. All right. So in what circumstances, when do we have to take the turtles to the vet? So if you find that your turtle has any change in behavior, your turtle stops eating, you're finding that your turtle has any discharges, any discharges from the nostrils, from the eyes, from the mouth, or any laceration, you can take your turtle in. Or anything that looks abnormal, any change in shell color. Oh. How shell can change color? Especially, yes, it can change. I've seen cases where some turtles develop a little bacterial disease on the underside. That's what we call the plastron. So on the underside, some turtles get a disease.
Okay. Oh, wow. All right. So what illnesses are prevalent? I think you mentioned one or two earlier among turtles.
Right. So I see a lot of food-related diseases. So if your diet is inadequate, you get what we call hypovitaminosis A. So they need vitamin A. So it's basically a decrease in vitamin E.
Okay.
Right. So what happens is that vitamin A is actually needed, to maintain the integrity of the cells. And if vitamin A is lost, you can have secondary infections setting in. They might be a swollen eye or a nasal discharge. It can display itself in a variety of ways. So I see a lot of food deficient diseases. I see a lot of bacterial diseases. So, as I was mentioning before, it presents with a few ulcerations on the plastron, and that comes from just not sanitizing or not cleaning the environment of the turtle. And you have the turtles sitting in the ponds for quite a bit, especially the indoor.
You have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to
right, you have to pay attention to.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. How do turtles reproduce? We're talking about them and how many baby turtles they can have at any one time. But how do they reproduce, and how should one care for young turtles?
Okay, so they reproduce. Okay, so the males generally get to sexual maturity at around 2 years of age. The females take a little bit longer, so they tend to develop at about 3 or 4 years of age. We're just using the slider as an example. So how they mate is that the male performs a little ritual, like a dancing ritual.
I tell you.
Yes, a little dancing ritual, and then he would mount the female. So he would mount the female, and then they would engage in the act. Then an interesting point though is that the male penis is actually 30 to 40% of the length of the turtle's body, so it's very long.
Pick up on the L4. Okay. Yes, go ahead. I have a question for you though. When you're through with that point, we have a listener asking a question. Go ahead.
Right. So once they begin to copulate, copulation can take up to about 15 to 20 minutes, and then the male would dismount. And a unique thing about female turtles is that she can actually mate multiple times, and she can use the sperm of multiple males. So she can actually keep sperm for up to on average 4 years, and she can actually use the sperm that she, let's say, mated today with, and she can actually produce young in a year's time or in 2 years. So that's why when you're choosing a turtle, having a female, when you're choosing a turtle, you have to know what sex you want, because if you have to prepare for babies if it is that you're getting a female turtle, the possibility of having babies.
Okay, so be ready. Here's a question, and we have to wrap in just a moment, but here's a question. How often do we change the water for turtles? Vicky says her nephew's turtle died last week, and his mom is saying it's because he changed the water every week. How often do we change the water for turtles?
Changing the water once a week is ideal. Especially if it is that that you don't have a filter, because you'd want to have a filter in the tank.
Mm-hmm.
In the tank enclosure. So, I mean, the death of the turtle could be because of multiple factors.
Right.
Right. You know, because is the turtle receiving enough light? What is the nutrition like? Right. Light is extremely important.
Remember that's close to a fish. I can't wait till when we're talking about fish.
Light and UVB radiation. Turtles and reptiles, they are what we call exotherms. So they don't regulate their body temperature, how we would regulate our body temperature. So they depend on external heat sources for metabolism.
Okay, interesting. So, Vicky, you could tell your nephew if he's interested in getting another turtle, go ahead and do that. But he could also talk with the folks at the JSPCA to get some wisdom. Any wrapping thoughts, because we're out of time now, but how long do they live for though?
A very long time. So on average about 30 to 40 years. Yes.
So if I buy a little baby turtle, it will go big, or it just remain little? Or it depends on the breed?
It is gonna grow.
I'm just amazed just at the thought of that. Okay, right. Like
an important
again?
point. I was saying that a point is that if you're growing tired of your turtle, I wouldn't recommend that you release it into the waterways. There are sanctuaries that you can take your baby turtle to. For example, the Hope Zoo. You can take it into the
but wouldn't it be better to just take it to if there's somebody who's listening and they're saying, all right, I'm tired of taking care of this turtle, I'm giving up on that journey, or I want to move on to another pet type. They could just take it to the JSPCA, right?
Yeah, you could take it to the JSPCA.
Or to a vet office.
Yes, that's okay as well.
Okay. All right, Dr. Hemmings, thank you so much. I really am learning a lot, and I hope my listeners are too. Thank you so much for sharing the information with us this morning, and to all the team members there at the JSPCA, thank you for all that you do. To Jody Ann Small, our intern at TG, our production assistant, Timoy, how you doing? And all the team members, thank you so much because you helped to make Love 101 better. Dr. Hemmings, you made a difference today. Thank you, and keep doing what you do there at the JSPCA. See you on Saturday with my puppies. He's doing so well. Okay. All right, well, that's a wrap on our feature. Paws and Paws. Keep it locked on Love 101 FM, the family station.